אוקיי, בעזרת השם, we continue, פרק ל"ב, פסוק כ"ח. כ"ח ול"ד, yes? ויצב להם משה את אלעזר הכהן, את יהושע בן נון ואת ראשי אבות המטות לפני ישראל. And Moshe instructed, right, אלעזר הכהן, יהושע בן נון, and ראשי המטות, to the בני ישראל, ויאמר משה עליהם. And he said to them, אם יעברו בני גד ובני ראובן איתכם את הירדן כל חלוץ למלחמה לפני השם, if בני גד ובני ראובן will cross with you the Yarden and will go to war with you. Right? לפני השם, like we explained what לפני השם means. ונכבשה הארץ לפניכם, and you will conquer the land. ונתתם להם את ארץ הגלעד לאחוזה. Then they get the גלעד as their part, their piece of land. ואם לא יעברו חלוצים איתכם, and if they don't go with you to war, ונוחזו בתוככם בארץ כנען, then they will just, yes, receive a part of the land like with amongst all of you in ארץ כנען, in ארץ ישראל. על פי זה ציווה משה בתנאי כפול, שאם יעברו את הירדן, ייתנו להם אז את ארץ הגלעד, right? That's the double תנאי. That if they cross the land and they go with them to war, then they will get ארץ הגלעד. ואם לא, לא ייתנו להם. And if not, they're not going to get it. ודייק בציווי זה, אם יעברו כל חלוץ למלחמה לפני השם, שכבר ביארתי שמה שהתעכבו בארץ ישראל עד גמר הכיבוש, או שהתעכבו אחר גמר החלוקה, זה תלוי באם יהיה הליכת המלחמה לפני השם או לפני בני ישראל. Right? It's all going to depend with the כוונה that they have when they go to war. If it's going to be לפני השם, or it's going to be לפני בני ישראל. שאם תהיה מלחמה לפני בני ישראל, because if it's a natural war, דהיינו מלחמה טבעית, צריכים הם להתעכב על החלוקה. Right? Then they have to wait until everybody gets their plot, כי גם אחר הכיבוש יש עדיין פחד אויב, because maybe the enemies can come back. בעוד לא חלקו והתיישב כל אחד במכונו. לכן הם שאמרו תחילה ואנחנו נחלץ חושים לפני בני ישראל. That's what בני ראובן ובני said originally. Right?
Yeah.
And they said, we're going to say, אמרו לא נשוב איש לביתו עד יתנחל בני ישראל איש נחלתו, שהוא עד אחר החלוקה. And that's, so they were planning to stay until after everybody gets their own part of land. רק משה אמר להם שאם יעברו למלחמה לפני השם ויהיה כיבוש ניסי, אז אינם צריכים להתעכב. So Moshe said, if הקדוש ברוך הוא will do the war for them, and it's going to be at the level of לפני השם, then at the second they conquer, they can go. Yes, because they're under Hashem's protection. רק אחר הכיבוש, כמו שאמר, ונכבשה הארץ לפני השם ואחר תשוב. ואחר שהם הבטיחו שעתה שיעברו לפני השם, now that they said, yes, that we have a full emunah and we're going to go to war לפני השם, and Hashem will be the warrior for us. אמר משה שהם יעברו לפני השם, says Moshe, if that's the case, אז ונכבשה הארץ, ונתתם להם את ארץ הגלעד, תוכלו לתת להם את הארץ הגלעד, תכף אחר הכיבוש, קודם החלוקה, right? That's the case, then they can go back right after they conquer the land, and they will get ארץ הגלעד. ויענו בני גד ובני ראובן, בני גד ובני ראובן answered, את אשר דיבר השם אל עבדיך כן נעשה, we will do exactly what Hashem has commanded to you.
Finish my fire.
הם רצו שיינתן להם ארץ הגלעד תכף. They wanted ארץ הגלעד right away. באשר מבטיחים שיעברו למלחמה מוצא שפתם בל ישנו. And they will say every word, they will accomplish every word they said, and they will go to war. ולישיבו בזה תשובה ניצחת. And they answered a strong answer. כי כבר ביארתי בדרושי בארצות השלום. שקשה מאוד על האדם לעשות לשם שמיים מצווה, שהוא מקווה ממנה שכר ורווח תכף. He says, it's very difficult for a person to do a mitzvah when he has in mind the reward, and the reward has to come right away. למשל.
What do you mean it's difficult? Difficult or it's not correct?
קשה מאוד.
Well, why is it קשה? To do a mitzvah, if you think you're going to get a reward right away, it should be the opposite. It should be kal.
Listen to what he says. למשל, אם יבטיחו לו עושר גדול בעת שילמד מסכת פלונית, אז קשה מאוד שילמד לימוד זה לשם שמיים. Yes, you cannot do it לשם שמיים.
Yes, you can't do the proper mitzvah.
That's what he says, שקשה מאוד על האדם לעשות לשם שמיים מצווה. נכון?
You say, if you think you're going to get an immediate reward, then you're not doing it for the pure intention.
כן. אחר שהוא מקווה שכר בעד לימודו, because when he's learning, all he's thinking about is the reward. הוא לומד לתקוות השכר, לא לשם שמיים. right? All he has in mind
Yes.
is the reward, not doing it לשם שמיים. ושם ביארתי כמה עניינים בזה, וזה טענו בני ראובן ובני גד, שאחר שאתה רוצה שנעשה מלחמה לפני השם, היינו בכוונה ראויה רק לשם שמיים. Now, since you want us to do, yes, this war לשם שמיים, so that it could be a מלחמה לפני השם, כן?
Yeah.
אי אפשר שנעשה זה בעוד שאנו מקווים שעל ידי מלחמה זו נעשים מבוקשנו, שיינתן לנו ארץ הגלעד אשר אנו חפצים בו. This cannot be while we have in mind, yes, the גלעד and thinking that okay, we're going to get it soon. כי עלול יעלה על ליבנו התועלה שנקבל מהליכה. Because all we will be thinking about when we go to war is the reward. And if that's the case, then it's not לשם שמיים. And if it's not לשם שמיים, then it's not מלחמה לפני השם. ואפשר שנלך בלא שום פנייה אחרת, רק לשם שמיים בלבד. And in order for it to be a מלחמה לפני השם, and a miraculous one, then it has to be clean without any side, other interests. לכן צריך שתיתן לנו ארץ הגלעד במתנה תכף. בין נלך למלחמה, בין לא נלך כבר, הוא שלנו. That's why they're saying, listen, give us the land right now. So that it's ours, then we know it's ours, then we don't have to think about it, then we can go to war לשם שמיים. וזה יקל עלינו ללכת בכוונה מיוחדת רק לשם שמיים, כי אין לנו עוד פנייה אחרת מתקוות שכר, שבעבור זה יינתן לנו ארץ הגלעד, right? Because now we know that we have the גלעד already. So we're not going to be focused on the reward. And now we can go לשם שמיים. אחר שכבר זכינו בארץ הזאת בכל אופן. וזה שאמרו אחר כי את אשר דיבר השם אל עבדיך כן נעשה, and what is it exactly that they will do? והוא שאנחנו נעבור חלוצים לפני השם. We're going to go to war לפני השם. רוצה לומר, רק לשם שמיים בלבד. אם כן, זה לא נוכל לעשות, רק אם איתנו אחוזת נחלתנו מעבר הירדן. And that's why they're asking for the piece of land right now. אם כבר נזכה באחוז הזו, תכף, בכל אופן, אז נוכל ללכת בכוונה לשם שמיים בלבד, ומשה קיבל את דבריהם. משה agreed. It was a good טענה. ויתן להם, משה נתן להם את אחוזת תכף. פסוק
Let me ask you a question.
ל"ח.
These guys, if you read the previous
Which
explanation,
guys? Which guys?
Bnei Gad, Bnei Reuven, it
Don't
seems
say
like
these guys. Don't say these guys.
God we're referring to Bnei Gad, Bnei Reuven. Okay, according to the Perush from yesterday, it seems like they have their priorities upside down. Right, the first, right.
No,
That was the whole. Right, he says that. And then Moshe is trying to get them out of it. Here,
yes.
all of a sudden, they come with an explanation that's like, the Duke of the Duke, in order to justify why they should get the land now. It doesn't align really with yesterday's attitude.
It's very good.
Why? Tell me. Yesterday's attitude was basically, they cared about. They really care about their.
It's a complete different ta'ana. They're saying, listen, you want us to be Lifnei Hashem? You're right. We messed up. Okay? For us, it's Lifnei Bnei Israel. You want us to Lifnei Hashem? We have to be honest with ourselves. If we're honest with ourselves, then we need to know if we're going L'Shem Shamayim, this is what we need. Yes? They're being very honest with themselves. That's not true. What do you want them to do? To lie to themselves and pretend like they don't want the land?
No, I get it. I understand what you're saying. It seems like it's such a duke. It seems like it's such a great duke. That they should get the land first. But if you look at every single claim that they did, the
problem is not the land. That was never the issue. The issue is that they made the tafel ikar, which is they prioritized their wealth over their neshama.
Okay. No, but okay, wealth is what? Wealth is at the end of the day is still real estate. I mean, they what I'm saying is they made every possible claim. They made every claim on the real estate, how they should be getting the real estate now. Give it to us. We don't want to go. We do want to go. They made multiple claims, and eventually, okay, they got to the pilpul that Moshe agrees. Okay, no problem. But I'm saying that they made multiple angles on why they should get the land now. It's not that's an attitude. I'm saying it sounds a bit a bit that there's a very specific focus that Malbim Matot had, which is, we want a real estate in every angle we could get it. We want a real estate. That's what that's my that's what I'm reading from.
That's the claim. The claim that they want the land. Now, nobody disagrees with the fact that that's their claim. Yes. Now the question is, how are they getting it? Okay. So they gave a very good Tana according to the Malbim. They said, you want us to go
Yeah,
Leshem Shamayim?
right,
This is not Leshem
right.
Shamayim.
And how do you change?
Now,
How do you
even though
change
they're
that?
getting it now, even though they're getting
Right.
it now,
Yeah.
if they don't go Leshem Shamayim, it's revoked.
But how do you change it? So what I'm saying to you is, if I say to you, again, you're going to milchama because their initial reaction was they really, it wasn't a Shem Shemaim, and because Moshe told them, listen, you have to go for Shem Shemaim, and if you go to Shem Shemaim, then it's all okay, and then the priorities are right, and then so it's okay. We go for the Shem Shemaim. But how do you change an attitude like that? Isn't like the Shem Shemaim something that comes from the neshama? It's not. It's not an action. It's something
Lama,
that comes
betach
from
no,
the
lama. You just reorienting yourself. Well,
it's in the neshama. It's inside. It's not an action. It's not saying I'm taking a gun instead of a knife. He's saying to them, change your attitude on your belief, why you're going to war, how you're going to war. It's an attitude change. The question is that can they change? Are they? I guess my question is, without saying, I don't want it to sound the wrong way, but are the intentions really pure at the end, or they've told Moshe what he wants to hear in order for them to get the land? They were great negotiators. They understood the KYC. They knew the customer. They knew what he wants, and they gave him every angle they needed. That's the real. That's the question that I have. And I've always, before I even studied, it was always something that troubled me when I was reading this. Now maybe it's total nonsense what I'm saying. It could be. The
at the
question
end,
is
we
the real
know that
kavanah there.
הם גולים ראשון, נכון?
Mhm.
למה?
Because they had the hit of the hit because their priorities were upside down from the beginning. Right, that's what the
And if
Malbim
they
says.
would have done the tikkun, then there wouldn't be any issues.
But clearly they did enough of a tikkun
This is
that they stayed in the land. They didn't go. He did because here he says clearly that if you don't do it right, you ain't getting the land. You're
no.
right. He
It's
says
not
you will
this. Is
stay.
that no? It's not this. Is that they say you can still get the land, but at that point, if it's a natural war, then you have to put your priorities straight and build cities before Gedarot.
No, but it says here by Anub Negad.
That's what that no. He says Moshe tells him, listen, no. Moshe tells him ultimately it should be Lifnei Hashem. Now, if you're not capable of Lifnei Hashem and if Lifnei Bnei Israel, then your priorities are off. Yes, so set your priorities straight, and build cities before building Gedarot. So what are they saying? They say no, we're going to do Lifnei Hashem, no problem. But we have to be honest with ourselves. If we go Lifnei Hashem, then it has to be without any other kavanot. And here all we're going to have in mind is this kavanah. So we're going back to square one. So Moshe says, you're right. You know what? I'll give you the land. It's yours.
Right.
Okay. Now you know that you have it, so that you can be Lishem Shamayim. But no, that if at the end you're not, yes, it's revoked. And if the war is avorted and you did not build cities, okay, you'll be accountable for it. And they take it.
Yeah, but it says that's
if they don't go to war. That's different. That's if they don't go to war. That's nothing to do with that. If they say that they're going to do it, they don't do it.
Got it.
But if they do it with the wrong kavanah, that's another thing.
Got it. Okay. Okay. What's the other? Lamed Dalet.
Lamed Chet. I don't have Lamed Dalet. I have Lamed Chet.
Musuvot Sham?
Musabot Sham. Musabot Shem. פסוק ל"ח, ואת נבו ואת בעל מעון, מושא בות שם, ואת
Oh, the hemisphere.
סיבמה, ויקראו בשמות את שמות הערים אשר בנו. Okay, they gave names, each one gave their own name. Okay.
I have a question for you on this. He doesn't explain Lamed Gimel. He explains that he gives it to them, but how did Chatzi Shevet Menashe come into this whole play? He doesn't explain it.
What is there to explain? They were part of the group.
No. It says this whole conversation, if I recall, is only Bnei Gad and Bnei
no, Chatzi Bnei Menashe was always there, but because it was only Chatzi Shevet, it's not addressed. It was always there.
Okay, it's interesting that he doesn't say anything. Okay.
מושא בות שם, what does it mean? פירושו שסיחון נתן להם שמות אחרים בעת שכבשם. ישראל קראו שמותם בשמות הראשונים, שהיו להם ימי קדם, כן פירש הרמב"ן. מושא בות שם, meaning, בני ישראל gave back to those lands the names that they originally had before סיחון changed them. למכיר בן מנשה היינו שיהיו לבניו שלכדוהו, ויאיר בן מנשה הוא מצד אביו משבט יהודה, בן בנו של חצרון, ומצד אמו היה בן בנו של מכיר. כמו שכתוב בדברי הימים, ואשר היה בעבר הירדן, לא הקפידו שתערב נחלת בן יהודה בנחלת מנשה. He's explaining who is, why the Torah needs to tell Yair ben Menashe, כן? And split that ויתן משה את גלעד למכיר בן מנשה and Yair ben Menashe. Where do we need that? To know that, כן? So he says that Machir ben Menashe, okay, his banav, Yair ben Menashe, מצד אביו, הוא משבט יהודה. Okay, he's the grandson of Chetzron. However, from his mother, he is the grandson of Machir.
No? Okay, grandson, yeah. Okay.
ובאשר היה בעבר הירדן, and since the Nachala was across the Yarden, yes, the Bnei Israel didn't really care that somebody from Yehuda will get a piece of land that is not from his shevet. Okay.
Did they marry between the Shvatim or did they marry between the?
Yes, but they tried to keep it among inside the shevet so that they don't lose land. But yes, they were intermarrying in Shvatim. Hold on.